Okay, now let's spend a few minutes talking about how to use random samples in order to make conclusions about the full population. So you're just taking a small sample. That's what people do when they do statistics, is they find a small representative sample, but then that can tell them something about the whole population. So let's do that with this issue, student loan debt in America. So let's pretend we did a study here. You randomly survey 422 25-year-olds to ask them if they have more than $40,000 in student loan debt. Okay? And the results are 297 say yes and 125 say no. Okay, great. So now how do we represent that result? Well, one of the ways is to say what percent of the respondents have more than $40,000 in student loan debt. How would you calculate that? Yeah, that's right. You would divide the 297 by 422. So let's go ahead and make that calculation. And if we did that with a calculator probably, or you could do it by hand, you get 0.70379. So what's that as a percentage? That's right, it's 70%. So now we can draw a conclusion that 70% of 25-year-olds have more than $40,000 in student loan debt. Okay? Now, how many would that actually be? We only took a small sample of 422, but assuming this was a representative sample, how many 25-year-olds have that much debt? Well, let's go ahead and take a look here. Assuming there are about 3 million 25-year-olds in the U.S., approximately how many have more than $40,000 in student loan debt? How would you calculate that? Well, you've made a conclusion that 70% do, and here's 3 million, so you would find 70% of 3 million. And so you know how to do that. You multiply 0.70 times the 3 million. You can do that on a calculator or even with mental math or by hand. And you can have 2.1 million or 2,100,000. And you can make a statement then that approximately 2,100,000 25-year-olds have more than $40,000 in student loan debt. And that's the power of taking a small sample. You don't have to talk to 3 million people. You only have to talk to 422. But if you take the sample right, you can make conclusions about the full population.